My name's Kevin. Nice to have you here. I've been here for 14 years, and I've developed a particular approach, a teaching approach called the McQuillan method. And so that's my last name, McQuillan. Thought it was kind of fitting, McQuillan method. I'm going to share an element or a component of this particular method with you this morning. Ultimately, the idea is to offer you opportunities to change. That's the idea. And offer you a concept, perhaps even challenge this concept that you have, in an effort for you to define what this concept is and where it is in your life and how you practice it. And if it's working, great. Keep it. Strengthen it. If it's not, perhaps it's time to change it. To develop a new approach to this particular concept and therefore your life. And so today I'm going to share with you a particular concept. That concept is in and around resentment. Sound familiar? It's a spicy little concept called resentment. A lot happening. I'm going to walk you through some distinctions I've created. And in this setting or in this concept, I've shaped it around intimate relationships. So I'll be speaking to that this morning, more around how you operate in your intimate relationships, specifically when it comes to resentment. And this is part of my methodology, is to create how we torture ourselves and the way out. And so I'm always offering that, every class. How we torment ourselves and create some semblance of suffering, and the opposite of that. You ready for this conversation? Perhaps it's fitting. It goes something like this. You are a threat. The kind of threat that will leave me exploited, hurt, and betrayed. And that's how we can situate ourselves in the world. You're a threat. And because you're a threat, you're going to hurt me, probably betray me. And so I have to be on guard. Can't trust you. If I trust you too much, that is the gateway to an experience I don't want. How do I know that? Because I've lived it. I spent time with human beings. This is the conversation we can have with ourselves. It's a tough conversation. I know this because it's already happened with you and those before you. You've exploited me, you've hurt me, you've betrayed me, just like everybody else, or so many in my life. They're just like you. We're strengthening this position. We can do that all the time. I'm on guard because I hate you, others like you, and myself for allowing such exploitation. I hate you for making me feel this way. Self-contempt is a part of this, of course. Self-hatred for allowing others to exploit us, to take that position over and over again in our relationships. It's a very, very difficult conversation to be a part of. I have a proclivity for giving too much and not saying enough. That's something that I do in my relationships. Doesn't usually work out too well. That's what I've noticed. And that's one of the ways in which I can get resentful. That I give too much and I don't say enough. I've done that so much in my relations, given so much, I gave up my self-respect. We can do that at times. Very difficult to get back. Especially in the relationship in which you gave it up. Wow, that is difficult. One of the things I had to teach myself is to give less and speak more. That was not easy. To give less and speak more. What I had to confront were a lot of emotions that I didn't want to confront. The concerns I had, that drove me to give so much, had to confront my relationship to disappointment, confront my relationship to rejection, to confront. Things I didn't necessarily want to be with, especially in relationships. The very reason why I gave up so much of myself in those relationships. What I started to realize when I gave up less and started to speak more, I became stronger. That was interesting. And from that place of strength, I became more courageous in my relationship. And I started to be able to negotiate with myself in different ways. Negotiate not only on my behalf, but with those who I was with and the relationship in of itself. I was so busy exploiting myself, I was weak and blamed others for my practice. It's your fault I'm like this. If you were different, then I'd be different. You should be different, so change. then I wouldn't have to feel this way. I wouldn't have to resent you. You're the problem. What I started to notice, I was just simply weak in my relationships. There wasn't much that I could stand for because I was too busy exploiting myself and allowing others to exploit me too. And so teaching myself how to speak and negotiate in different ways, I became stronger, as I mentioned. And then I could really make not only myself stronger, but those around me stronger. And the relationship I chose to be in, which is very different. And I tolerated less in my intimate relationship. It's like, you don't get to talk to me like that, treat me this way. I have to speak to myself that way. I have to speak to others that way. It's a hell of a conversation to be a part of. It's not easy to be able to communicate in a way that somebody receives us. Very difficult. The idea is to design your relationships in a way that they're strong, but you got to be strong. And when you're strong, you want strong people with you and around you, so your relationship is strong.